Okay, welcome at the morning line. Opening day of the football season, apart from Liverpool, which two other towns or cities in England and Scotland are home to both a racecourse and a Premier League football club? Okay, to get it right. Wolverhampton, yes, and Hamilton. And guys, well done. And this is the scene. This is where we are. There's camera panning now. We're in the pre-parade ring, and they're lovely. What are they, birch trees? Yes, they are. They are now, absolutely. And we've got Jeremy here. Jeremy looking very smart in jeans.
Well, you see, they didn't say you had to wear a suit, but it's quite nice to be relaxed, isn't it?
Isn't it lovely? You enjoying yourself?
Having a wonderful morning.
Isn't it good? Are you enjoying having him on the show?
Having a lovely time.
Oh, Frank, sell it.
What's happening in the email front?
First of all, we've come out of the turf review about the footy. Paul Evans emailed in. Is this true, you fan of St Andrews? Are you a Birmingham supporter?
No, you see, this is absolutely wrong. My father-in-law's a blue nose, and
yeah.
Colin and I just had our first son, who's 19 weeks on Monday. I probably got that wrong, it's about 5 months. And he's convinced that he's going to turn my son into a blue nose.
And so who do you support?
West Ham.
You're a Hammer.
I'm a Hammer.
So there you go, Paul. Jeremy is a West Ham supporter rather than a Birmingham supporter. What did you say?
No, it's not to be repeated.
On a more serious note, John McDonough says Jeremy was your first bet of winning one.
I don't know. I remember my biggest bet. I got the Tricast in the National. I can't exactly remember the year. It was the year Corbière won, and I think that probably got me into all sorts of trouble for about £2.60 in those days. A couple of grand, or possibly even more. Corbière, Royal Mail, two Swallows. I can't remember.
You were riding that race, weren't you?
It was grease paint.
Didn't you lead a big?
You're right.
Young Snowfit, Mr Snowfit and grease paint.
Do you remember? It was grease paint, wasn't it?
Was it grease paint?
Grease paint.
The grease paint was my island in the purple colours.
Jerry Ramsden.
Nearly got it.
Grease paint. Who was it? The amateur, wasn't it?
JP Magna.
That's
no, Colin Magna. No, Colin Magna.
Well done.
Jeremy, now that it's recession-laden times, is it going to be topical on your show that people are getting into trouble on doing gambling because money's it's tight and they think they can get out of trouble?
I think you can get into that whole debate. I mean, I was reading in the paper yesterday about the Chelsea players who went and spent £120,000 in 2 hours at a champagne bar in London. I don't know if you read that. You know, it is very difficult for people to afford to come racing, sometimes to go to a football match. If you want to spend your money, then you can make your choices, but people are having to tighten their belts, and it is difficult, and that's why there's so much debate in this country about people who seem to get something for nothing. But don't start me on that at 8:30 on a Saturday.
But people also are saying it's all right for you. You're making fortunes out of hosting a show and all that, but you know what it's like the other side, don't you?
Yeah, listen, I fell into this by default, really. I never wanted to be on the television, and unlike anybody else, I go to work and I work hard because I've got 4 kids. And a wife, and I've got a house to pay for and a family to keep, and that's what I do. And when somebody taps me on the shoulder and says it's all over, I'll trot off and do something else. But we all have to work as hard as we can. There's a lot of people who are struggling to find work, struggling, really struggling, and they deserve huge respect as well. But there's also people who aren't trying. So.
Good call. Listen, let's check out the next big race we've got for you today. This is the 3:35. Guys, I just want to tip here because it is 9 to 2 to field. I think that's a lovely name. This is the Sky Bet for all your football betting handicaps. Splendor in the Grass won the other day. Absolutely hacked up. I think he'll win again. Jim McGrath, yes or no?
Well, I've got Castles in the Air in this, who's in good form, won Alaska last time. This is a much better race. Splendor in the Grass does look potentially ahead of the handicapper Derek. He's got a Group 2 entry, and 92 is a fair price.
And Frank?
Yeah, form of that race has worked out only so. I think 9 to 2 is a short enough price. I'd rather be back in tapped here. Philip Robbins 6 to 1 went to. Made too much use of him at Ascot, and Signor Pelto ran in the same race. The forms worked out well with Genki, so they'd be the 2 I'd be interested in.
Lovely. Okay, the weather, by the way, it's a gorgeous day, and Tomo predicts it's going to be gorgeous wherever you are today. And you know how good I am at weather forecasting. Guys, enjoy the day. If you want to go racing, here's the news from the tracks.
So let's start with Redcar. We've got Run Race live for you on Channel 4, 3:45. They're going good to firm. 7 rides there for Chris Catlin. Pretty good book as well.
Yeah, at Ascot it's Sherdar Cup Day. They get underway at 1:10 Gates open though at 11 o'clock if you get there early. Going is good on the straight course, good to soft on the round course.
Up at Air, it's Ladies' Night, as Derek's already told you. 6 rides each for Tony Hamilton, Tom Reeves and Philip Makin.
At Lingfield this afternoon, the action begins at 5:40. Going is a mixture of good to soft and standard. to recap those non-runners, if you weren't with us earlier, Haydock in the 210, number 8 and 13. In the 240, number 1. In the 315, number 10. At Ascot, in the 110, number 1. And number 9. In the 215, number 8. In the 330, number 1. And at Redcar, in the 310, number 4. In the 345, number 8. And in the 450, number 8.
Let's check out what's... Oh, there are more. Sorry, John.
Yeah, don't jump the gun. You can't wait to get your 2 penny worth. Lingfield in the 610, number 11, and in the 640, number 2, and at Ayr tonight in the 720, the last one, number 11.
Oh, John, that's put everyone back to sleep. Now, tomorrow, Redcar. These are the opening, the first race times. 2:10 Redcar, Leicester 2:20. A great day out to the family as well. Windsor 2:30. Downpatrick, Northern Ireland 2:15, and Tipperary, which, as you know, is a long way, 2:35. That's racing tomorrow.
We've got a competitive and very valuable handicap for you at 3:15 at Haydock. It's the Tote Scoop 6 Stakes, mile and a quarter and a bit. And a short price favourite in Downcourt, but I have to say I'm going to go with that. It's a Sir Michael Stout, typical 3-year-old, improving. It's gone up the weights a lot, but I think there's still more to come. And I think he'll end up as a pattern horse, that.
He looks highly progressive. He's gone up £8 for his win at Sandown the other day, but that may not be enough. I thought Summer Gold, who we saw winning at York recently, travelled very strongly that day. Slight drop in distance as well. Will suit, and I thought at 12 to 1, a bit of each way, Summer Gold.
Yeah, well, that's the third of our live races this afternoon from Haydock. We've got a good card for you, and as I said, it's a valuable card too. So those are the races on Haydock. We've got the first 3 for you on Channel 4, and all 7 are on Racing UK, Satellite Channel 432, Cable 536, as is full coverage of Newmarket and Redcar, followed by all this evening's action from air.
Let's have a look at our Scoop 6 suggestions today in the first race here at Haydock, numbers 2 and 5. Newmarket 225, 3 and 9. In the 240, 5 and 8. Staying on and Tranquil Tiger, who we talked about earlier. 3:15, 15 Summer Gold, 16 Dancourt. Newmarket 3:35, numbers 3 and 12. And the all-important last leg, and a tricky one at Redcar, 3:45, numbers 6 and 10. Win fund pushing towards 150,000. And just a reminder that for the first time today, high street punters in Ireland can place bets on the Scoop 6 in Ladbroke shops.
Now let's pick up some of the stories making the headlines away from racing this morning in the papers, and fair play to this gentleman Mark Muller of Max Motors in Butler, Missouri, who's been giving away a free AK-47 assault rifle with every pickup truck he sold. It's been so successful, he's sold over 200 trucks. He's run out of trucks to sell. Quite extraordinary, isn't it?
Wonderful.
Anyway, speaking of cars, look at this here. Steve Wright, who clearly drives a Range Rover, but can't quite fit it into his garage, has to go through all sorts of rigmarole to get in and out of his car every morning and evening, Steve. So fair play for on the old agility front there. The Steve Wright workout. And what about our more elderly viewers out there? Are you watching Big Mac? Good morning. I don't believe it. The elderly are happiest. The archetypal grumpy old man as portrayed by Victor Meldrew is a myth, claim scientists. And speaking of the elderly, there's a good story in the Sun this morning about this old age pincher, frail burglar, 99, is nicked by cops in Swoop for possessing weapons and equipment for stealing. That was in by Cambridgeshire Police. This is the old age pincher, lovely. Anyway, moving on, what have we got here?
What else have you got?
Oh, on the crime front as well, in the Guardian. Look at this in Birmingham. This £20,000 trial for stealing a banana ends in acquittal. This chap who was accused of stealing a 25p banana, it goes to Birmingham Crown Court and it gets turned out for 2 days. It cost the taxpayer 20 grand to stage that ridiculous charade.
It is
crazy, isn't it? And finally, a gentleman called Stuart Felton was in the wars on his holiday out in Greece.
Is that a real one?
Yeah, seriously. He comes from Swindon, actually. He comes from Swindon. Now, listen to this. Look at this. Girl's revenge by flaming Sambuca. Apparently, he flashed himself in front of this girl to try and make an impression on her. She didn't like it, chucked Sambuca all over him, and then lit up the Sambuca. So she's now facing a trial in Greece, but she's been hailed as a local heroine for not putting up with the antics of drunken British holidaygoers, I guess.
Yeah, he won't do that again.
He won't do that again. I love it.
3 other lads from Swindon put it out on spell.
Brilliant. I love it. And where do you come from? Swindon. Listen, we're talking about Clive Britton. You talk about the old people. Are they grumpy or are they... This is what happens when you get to his age. Just look at this when you have a winner. Here he is, Clive Britton. Now that's the way to do it. Go on, my son. Yeah, I like it. 74 years of age. Well done, Clive. Let's take a turf trivia. Let's have a break. Well done, big fella. You could win the big race today. Here it is. Now, what is this? Which horse finished second, beaten 10 lengths behind Shergar in the 1981 Derby? I know this. Do you?